Chris here from Bow Trout Fitters. Today we're going to tie a hare's ear, but on a jig style nymph. Now I'm going to start out with an RX CZ mini hook here, size 14. They've actually got a short shank, and I'm going to tie this with fire orange thread and an orange bead. Now this is a size 14 hook, but the bead that we're choosing is a 3.2 millimeter bead. That's actually quite large, but it's going to give this a very short and very fat taper, and that's what we're going for. So I've tied on my orange thread. Now I'm going to tie in my gold small wire. This is going to be our rib, just like you'd use on a standard hare's ear. But notice how large that bead is for this hook. So we're going to wrap that all the way to the back of the hook, and I'm not going to make this fly too long. It's not going to have proper nymph proportions, but it works really well in a jig style. I'm going to put on a tail here using partridge feather. You know, it gives us that nice variegated look to it. You could use mallard feathers or something different, but I really like partridge here. And nice and chunky, okay? You can see there, it really flares out. Now for the body, I'm going to use a classic hare's ear nymph color, which is basically like a light beige gray. This is Hen's Dubbing Plus, so it's got all those hare's ear guard fibers in it, but also a little bit of UV ice dub, so it just kind of has that glow to it. And I'm going to wrap it up, and you can see here I'm actually dubbing quite a lot because I really want that squat, almost like ice cream cone shaped body. Now we're going to counter wrap our gold wire rib just like you'd have on a classic hare's ear, just to secure that all in place, and I'll lock that down. This profile is so important here. So now the collar, I'm going to tie in a ginger hackle, a very small ginger hackle. I do like using ginger actually as a color, and I'm just going to do a couple wraps of that. It's just to kind of give it a little bit of that leg and movement in the water. We'll tie that off there. Now we're going to finish up with a collar, just classic peacock curl, a couple fibers, and again, I'm not going to go crazy with a whole bunch of turns. We just want to have a little bit of that peacock fiber. Now, what I do want to point out is that fire orange thread we're using, you can see on the end of the fly at the tail, it gives it just that little hot spot. And again, when I go in front of the peacock curl, it gives us just that hot collar. So I've just really been on this kick lately of tying classic nymph patterns, but in a jig style hook, and it just changes the proportions, but the fish really seem to like it and key in on it. You can see that hook's got a nice wide gape, it's thick wire, it really holds fish well, and you can put a bit of muscle on them. So next time you're looking for a good nymph pattern, give this a try. It's very effective, it's easy to tie. Thanks for joining us. Check out this and many more videos on bowtroutfitters.com, and check out our YouTube channel. Subscribe and you won't miss them.